Alright, so now we come to question number 12, which is about a simple OLS regression model, and it talks about the differences between a regression model where you have a regression that is unconstrained and where the model where you constrain the regression to pass through the origin. Now let's look at an unconstrained model. Y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2x plus epsilon, right? Now the estimated value of y, which will be y hat, would be beta 1 plus beta 2x plus beta 1 hat plus beta 2 hat x plus u hat, where u hat are the estimated residuals or the estimated errors. Now the question asks about the covariance of the estimated errors or the residuals and x, which is cob u hat x. What is cob u hat x? Cob u hat x is simply the expectation of the product of the deviations of u hat and x from their respective means, u hat bar and x bar. So the question asks when this would be 0. Now the thing is, if you look at the true model, y equal to beta 1 plus beta 2x plus epsilon, whether or not beta 1 is present, by assumption we say that epsilon has the error, stochastic error, as mean 0. In other words, we say that epsilon bar equal to 0 by assumption, no matter what the case is. Now it's a very standard result that if you have an unconstrained regression, then consider this particular expression, sum up all the observations, divide by n, you get the, so this will tell you that y bar equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x bar plus the mean of epsilon is 0 by assumption. So what this tells you is simply that this particular expression will pass through the, this particular line, when you fit it, in this particular case, this particular expression will also pass through your the mean y bar x bar. Now, alright, so if this passes through the mean, then essentially that will tell you that u hat bar will also be equal to epsilon bar, which will be equal to 0. However, if you constrain the regression line to pass through the origin, the moment you do that, you cannot constrain a line to pass through 2 points and let its slope be endogenously determined. So the moment you constrain it to pass through the origin, it will no longer necessarily pass through this, the main point x bar y bar. And the moment this happens, u hat bar will no longer be equal to epsilon bar, which is 0. So the moment you constrain it to pass through the origin, instead of letting it naturally pass through the mean x bar y bar, this will no longer hold, and hence this will this equivalence will no longer hold. So which is to say that if beta 1 equal to 0, which is the case of a regression through the origin, the covariance of u hat x will no longer be 0, because this depends entirely on this particular value being 0.